Anybody there? Anybody there? I'm like bored, y'all. Testing audio on this eCam. Hector! I'm sitting here farting around. It's late. Kombucha! Oh, there you go, Lemon. Yeah, I'm just sitting here farting around because it's like I'm bored. Felt like having me a little bit of fun tonight. And guess what? Y'all people was just running across my mind. Just those chords. My girl says this. I gotta get automatic switcher now. I don't have it on my switchers, Lem. If I could sing, she'd say like, you just run across my mind. You just run across my mind. I'll just do my own remix, Kim. That's all studio is about there, man. got it. You got it, Relius. That's how easy it was. Oh, that's the Bible study, sorry. Whoa, I got Tone in the house. Tone, your girl still stay. You just run across my mind. It's just the smoothest. Just let it sit there, go. What's going on, sis? I see you, Sean. I was just thinking about you and wondering what you're doing. I mean, what you been up to. I know it's long and it's long. I'm waiting in it, cause I think the thing through. Tisa! Tell Jill I'm singing her song. Jermaine, what's going on, bro? Just saying chords over and over again. Tisa, how y'all doing out there? Tell my brother I said what's up. Tell Jill to log in. Tell her she need to sing it live. Words and Sounds, Volume 2, Felicia. Last one. She got her vocals too, Tisa. I just gotta find them and make her sing it. Ooh. Lem, I gotta get a closer up shot. Wait, here you go. Let me see, I got it right here. It's that Psy. I love you, Psy. Where you been at, girl? Everybody say hi to Psy Smith, the recording artist extraordinaire. Worked with her in the early days. I gotta find that song we recorded. Where's it at? Right. Yeah, I'm about done, Tisa. Y'all go ahead and sing the song. You just run across. Just running across my mind. You just running across my mind. Just running across my mind. I'm using Logic. Matter of fact, listen, Lem, I was just actually sitting here programming. There we go. The Rose is playing in the background. I was really just sitting in here farting around, y'all. And I was just like, I'm feeling them groovy nights. And I didn't feel like creating nothing, so I just played something I already did. Something I already know. Tisa, it was good seeing you on here. I know you gotta go. Much love to you all. Everybody, Cy Smith, if you're not on her music, please go to iTunes and pick up something. She is awesome. I love Cy. We go way back to the old Jilly days and Flowetry days and all of that stuff. It's good for y'all to drop by on tonight. I'm not doing nothing. I was just sitting here programming, seeing how Ecamm works in here. Felicia, how are you? Oh, that's right. Hubby's birthday is going. Did you see what I said? I said Bishop, Reverend Bishop something. I said, I'm silly like that. I'm just figuring out stuff. Lem, love you, man. Look, everybody enjoyed you the other night, man. We had a real good time checking you out. And thank you for dropping those nuggets about the trees and the moochers. We're not worried about the moochers. Yeah, Sammy, I'm going to get back into my programming. I just had to do this for me. So it was kind of therapeutic. And I just said I'll just go live because it was very therapeutic for me. Let me light up. Here's my light. Where's my light at? There we go. It was therapeutic for me to do this because I miss those days of just creativity. And that's how we did it, y'all. We just sat in the studio all night long and sat with a vibe, dim the lights a little bit, and then you just sit on the keyboard. Matter of fact, where'd she go? There we go. No, that's the wrong spot. You sit on, y'all know I can't get my buttons together. It's number 2, yeah. Sit on the keyboard and you just let a groove go, play some chords, and when it hits you, it hits you. And then when it hits you, you just loop it. It's simple. It don't need a whole bunch of work to it. You just let it be simple and let it hit you. So when you're up and bored and you're about to go night-night, sometimes it's late in the midnight hour and God turns it around. I'm about to get spiritual on y'all. You too, bro. This was such a surprise, such a nice groove. Trust. I'm over here singing along. Hey, teacher, because it's so simple, you know. I was just thinking about you and wondering what you're doing. I mean, what you been up to. That's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about you and your husband. I was just thinking about y'all. He got a better beard than mine, you know what I'm saying? He got a better haircut than mine, you know. Jeez, I was just thinking about y'all. I was thinking about a lot of people. Lem, you know I'm thinking about you. Felicia, I be thinking about Felicia. Mickey, thinking about you. It's nobody on here that I'm not ever thinking about. Cy, I'm going to dig up them old pictures and stuff that we got. I got to find them. And so just to see you just blossom and grow. Love it. And so I'm missing a lot of people. I'm not depressed. I'm not down. Bishop, how are you doing? I'm not down or nothing like that. It's just one of them moody nights. Anybody else have a moody night? Or is it just me? You know, it's not that you down. It's not that you sad. It's not that you depressed. But you just got them moody nights. And when you get them moody nights, you know, everybody has their own thing. Judgment free zone here. Somebody, you got your cognac. Somebody else just a cup of tea. Somebody else a little coffee. Somebody just a little juice. You know, you sit down in your robe or just get some fresh air, whatever. Just what we do in the nights. Cy, I don't know if she's still on here, but this is what we do. And listen, this song here, this was done in a snowstorm. That's why it hit me. It was myself, Darren Henson, and Jill. And this hit us. We were in a snowstorm. And we were down at Sigma. And we were just trying to come up with something. And this is one of those things. And laughing, joking. And once you hit that, you know it. She said, I need to go cut this. And she go, you just running across my mind. You just running across my mind. You just running across my mind. So look, y'all gonna laugh at me. I just put the mic up to Jill. Be like, here, Jill, you sing it right there. See, you can just be an idiot at nighttime. Just make her sing it. Hey, Lim, I should put Jill on the screen and make her do it. Hey, Doc, I have no idea why I'm up. Look, you see her, Tisa? Wait, look. I'm a draw in. So look, Tease, there go your girl right here. I should just put the mic on her, right? Let me see if I can draw it on. Here we go. All right. Sing, Jill. Hey, yeah, you just running across my mind. So Tisa, you gotta tell Jill, say, since you won't come on Keith's show live, he had to put you on the picture, and then he gonna make you sing. You understand what I'm saying? Let me stop boring y'all with this music. So look, I'm gonna have her do her encore song. Let me see. Doc, you said Lexa turn on the light, so we're gonna have it brighten up a little bit. You still can't see her. Everything, I thought it was on 100. All right, I'll brighten it up. But here we go, Doc. I'll just make her sing. That's how you make her do it. You say, are you kidding me? Tony, what is going on, man? So look, this is what I just do to her. Be like this. We're gonna do this, Jill. We're gonna sing this. No, wait, I need a rose, right? Let me go to a rose. There's the rose. Here we go. She about to sing. They say I'm crazy, the way you got me up in, baby. Doc, what we talking about, Doc? Congratulations to Sean, Doc. So glad I picked up this phone. So good to see you. This is great. Listen, I'm just playing around, Tisa. I'm up late, and I shouldn't even be up. All right? I shouldn't even be up, but I was bored. See what it says? Bored. And technically, I was about to sing Fred Hammond. Everybody say bless, 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 bless. You know, and then when he say, late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn it around. It's going to work in your favor. That's what I was actually about to do. But I just, I can't play and sing no Fred Hammond songs. And then Jill, at least I can get away with singing the Jill songs. All right. And so I'll come up on the late in the midnight hour and do some other songs. Listen, Doc, it is not late where you are. So because it's not late where Doc is, I'm going to turn on the interview mode. And the funny thing is, because Doc is still up, I still got to congratulate my homie. I know he ain't feeling it tonight, but I'm still going to congratulate you, Doc, because what you did was so phenomenal. You understand what I'm saying, brother? What you guys did was so phenomenal. And I do want to talk about the fact that I was laughing at everybody. I was dying laughing at everybody who was sitting here trying to figure out why they didn't get the memo. They were mad because they didn't get the memo of what was going on. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit a button right here. Let me see. There we go. Comes right up. It's just so easy. You know what I'm saying? It comes right up. And so just in case you happen to be at your computer, all right? Just in case you happen to be at your computer. I'm just farting around on the night. And you know what? Since in case certain people are up and at your computer, you understand what I'm saying? You said, uh-oh. Exactly. That's what happens when you can't go to sleep. You just sit up, you press a button, and you go live. All right, so we're not going to get started tonight. It's cool. Because, see, what most of us don't remember is that, see, Lem, me and you on that East Coast, you know what I'm saying? We get in trouble when we do them 5-hour energies and stuff like that. But certain people, depending on where they at, like Tisa, it ain't even late for my girl Tisa. She probably signed off, but it ain't even late for her because she's over there on that West Coast. Doc is way West Coast. But us East Coast people, we gotta be careful. We start farting around with the rest of you guys and we don't get no sleep. Again, I was working on some stuff and I was up late. So I just felt like playing. I was in the zone. And because I was just in the zone, I just did what I did. And that's about it. So I wanted to get on and congratulate the Let's Get Live crew. Lem, you did a great job by not saying anything. Doc, all he said was, big news coming tomorrow, but I thought it was just all about Doc. So he was hilarious because I swore it was all about Doc. And Doc said, not Doc, Lim said, big news coming tomorrow. And I promise you, I thought it was all about Sean Doc, but it wasn't. It was about everybody. So thank you guys for that unity. I'm so appreciating this. And so, oh, Pete's here. My brother Pete is here, man. You know what's crazy? Y'all wouldn't believe me, but it's not hard to check in. It is not hard to check in. To the stage tonight. What? The ham sandwich. I am honored. And when I say honored, I'm more than honored. It is late, but guess what? If just for a little while, the G, the man, the myth, the legend, the way on the other side, outside of America, but in America, the man of the Let's Get Live crew, he gets front and center. And that is none other than Sean Doc. Boy!
What it do? What it do?
What's going on, man?
Man, busy, man. It's been like a crazy long day. Like, yo, fam, just been like out in these streets. It's a lot of work.
Y'all done did it, man. You done surprised the heck out of me. What the heck happened? How'd you keep that on the low that long? And then y'all just popped up. How'd that happen?
It was very hard. And you know, it's tough. Like, yeah, it's tough. Like,
but you did it the right way.
We did it the right way. And I mean, I used to work at Apple. So like, I kind of get it. I didn't want anybody to start guessing on what we're doing. Like, we still haven't said everything yet. We just wanted to let y'all know that it's coming, and we want people to be ready, and we want people to get that vibe, get that feeling that something big is a brew. But you know, also it was very hard because, bro, let's get it twisted, right? You put more than 5 people on the ladder,
right?
The ladder in the break. But if you let the first 5 build a concrete steps, I'm a limb drop in a second.
I agree.
You know
I totally
let
agree.
us build the concrete steps. You know us. You trust us. We've been here riding the whole time.
Right.
Let us do our thing, and it's finna be even better. So don't worry. It's coming. And man, you know what the group, everybody in the group was there. Everybody was vibing, like, you understand.
Right.
The calls we got from outside the group, the calls we got from folks we wasn't expecting to get calls from. The DMs, people sliding into my DMs. Dude, you know, the last time I cried all day damn near was when the Raiders traded Chucky to Tampa Bay and then he kicked our butt in the Super Bowl. That same season. That was the last time I cried for 24 hours straight. I mean, happy, you know, I wasn't sad or nothing, but like, I was blown away by the level of support and love we got, and the phone calls I had the last, you know, couple of hours. And bruh,
you should have been, man, because when I saw, like, you know what's crazy? I sat there, first of all, I was late to the party. And when I finally got there, I wasn't surprised after the announcement. And also, I wasn't shocked at anybody in the lineup. And I knew it must have been hard to kind of be like, and it's funny because when Kepler Cats was like, oh, I ain't get the memo. And like you say, you put too many people on the ladder going to break. And you got to stay focused. Tina's proud of you, and she don't really know everybody. But like, she's just excited, and she don't even know what she's excited about. So,
and you know what's crazy? Like, bro, pulling it together with us was hard enough. We almost had a couple of divorces in there, but hey, why you let this clown come on? but we pulled it together, man, and. You know, hey, Lim would tell you, bro, I got to wake up at 4 a.m. Fools is yelling and screaming, and there's boxing. But you know how family be.
Right.
You know how family be. We might box all night, but somebody outside try to box with us, somebody finna get hurt. And then we'll go right back to beating each other ass after that.
Right.
But it was like, it was hard, but I made the decisions at the time based off of what I thought was right. I also deferred decisions to partners that I felt were a little bit more down. I mean, everybody doesn't know David because he's like the newest one, but yo, the brother has built 3 high-level companies from the ground.
It was
and he was
smart.
He was like, I see you, let me holler at you. At first, it was just some tech support stuff. And then I tech supported, we talked it out. And then he's like, let me drop something on you. I know where you at, and I know what you stuck on. I can unstuck it. And I was like, And he was like, yeah, you might have poured yourself a glass of Tutankhamun. Let's holler about this.
Wow.
And so we had like a 5-hour conversation. And he asked me some philosophical questions about my dream and my vision. And, he litmus test. And he was like, bruh, I heard you say no less than 10 times about wanting to touch 1 billion people, but I also saw the moves you made of not trying to do it by yourself. The moves you made of making sure that, other cats out there was understanding the drive and the mission. And he's like, all right, so what if I throw some kerosene on the fire? I'm not from the city. What the hell is a kerosene? I'm joking.
I got you.
I'm joking, but yeah, y'all know Dave was Cajun, bro. He from the country.
Yeah, listen, I know about kerosene, boy. I used to fill up the tank and go to the gas station and get the squeegee pump.
Don't tell him I said so, but Dave was kind of a Bama, so he Cajun. So anyway, so after a long conversation, like I had the hardest.
Did you put the pot on top the kerosene heater?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. You official, Doc.
Bruh, I had a hard time. Like holding it in until we could get, the 3 Musketeers together to add and to make the 5. And when we called it, like, what this meeting for? What y'all want?
Right.
And then I was like, I can't even tell him. David, you tell him. And David was like, I can't tell him. You tell him. And they was like, what do you want? And we was like, here's the idea. And Lim started hooping. Whoop. Yo, and so yeah, and it's been a lot of work, man. It's hard. It's hard work. It's not as easy, man. God bless Miss D. She is on point with her her skills. Her skills are level you guys didn't even see yet.
But we was calling y'all like, it's funny because we call her the queen, but then we call you like the bishop. I'll call you the bishop. I joke with you. Other people will say, we just call you the man, the doctor. And I know you know how to pick a team, but here's what I love about you, and I gotta say this, and Lim is here to attest to it. The way that you are with everybody across the board, it only takes certain people like yourself to be able to pick a team like that, and nobody I think got the feeling that somebody's left behind. Like it was kind of like the mature people was like, yo, this is what's up. Because you got to formulate, you got to do something. It's something so big happening right now that you talking to David like that and just saying, yo, you want to touch 1 billion people. I look back over your YouTube and was like, dude, like you got history. It's like when you dig into my past and people look at what I've done with music and be like, yo, I'm looking at you the same way people look at me with music. Because I'm looking at you with all the stuff you've been doing. Like, I
don't think people get it. This not new. Like I've been doing this forever. I just never had enough Voltron cats on the Voltron.
Nice.
Like
nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice. That's old school. He said Voltron.
Bruh, I've been trying to Voltron for the longest time, but it's hard to find the right cat. It's hard to find the right cats. And then somehow, like when I told David my top 5 dead or alive, and then when we opened the envelopes and our first 3 picks of the top 5 were the same first 3 picks, we was like, bruh. We were like, bruh. That, I mean, it's what makes it funny, bruh. I'm telling you, when you open up it wasn't no Steve Harvey joint. Be like, this is my first 3.
Right.
Well, here's my 5, and here's my top 3, and then here's your 5. He cheated, he made 6, but then here's your top 3. And it wasn't like the top 3 was like this. The top 3 was like this, like just in order. Lil was 3rd,
right?
I'm clowning, bro. Siri ain't nobody talking to me.
It's all right, man.
But like it was hilarious that our top three was identical.
Wow.
And it was sort of like, all right, you funny. All right, you funny. All right, what will be your reasons? And then our reasons were kind of identical.
Okay.
And then it's like, okay, so let's go make this pathway, so you know what I'm saying? Like we could just like all, hobble down the hobble road all together and struggle, but a lot of people are gonna fall and they'll hurt themselves. Mm-hmm. And I go, you and I have the experience, the power, and the know-how combined with the work ethic of the other three. So with the five of us, Lim, you seen him work a shovel. You seen him on screen working the shovel.
Yes.
So we're gonna dig this joint up, backhoe, pave it, nice and smooth. Yeah. Safety lines, little pullover joint, blue phone booth to call the cops. We're gonna make it nice and smooth for everybody else. So we're gonna go. Les Brown. My favorite statement is do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail. I've been owning that baby for a long time. And
I would own it too. I like that, man. Let me tell you what I love. What I love about the whole situation is, it's like it needs some organization. And the crazy thing is the move from Ecamm. So here's the thing. I love how you shout out Ecamm, because Ecamm brought us all together in a sense, right? And they're
not going nowhere.
Right.
They're not going nowhere.
Yeah, they're not going nowhere.
Don't even know. But I had a long conversation with the bosses today. They didn't
nice. Okay. So
they are the foundation of Let's Get Live, and they will remain that way. You think any of us finna install some OBS? Come on, player.
Oh no, heck no. Listen, that was the move, because what I looked at was like you had to have something outside of Ecamm to have more of a focus, because Ecamm is the one tool that everybody's can be all over the place is expected, because it's a tool for everybody to use it how they want to.
Well, that too. I mean, you understand. You've been there trying to help folks, and then we've been trying to help folks, and then they come with the kind of, I won't call them excuses, because they just haven't been told properly.
Oh yeah, how do you bring a guest in?
Yeah, like I'm like, bruh, you just told me the most important stream in your life is coming up, and you haven't tested the software.
Right.
You haven't read the manual. But not only that, y'all bougie because y'all got this camera or that mic or whatever. And it was like, bruh, go look at my channel, son. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, I was doing this shit. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You welcome, sir.
I was like, yo, I was doing, like, you know
you
what?
You with me and Lim, bro. Go ahead, man. Have your way. I don't have a beep on my joint for you.
Since y'all are preachers, I can confess my sins right quick. Let me just go ahead and show y'all.
Where's your Rodecaster Pro? You use it.
We ain't fragile.
We all started somewhere, player.
Wow. I love it.
We ain't fragile.
Hold up. Wait, you get full screen for that. Where's he at?
All of the people like, oh, he don't know. He just wanted them bougie Sony cats. Yo, we all started
yikes.
with the Costco joint, player.
You got a Diana.
Don't come at me about, yo, this Canon is older than Lim's kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they be like, oh, look. Oh, I need the flippy screen. This ain't even barely got a screen. This screen is the size of my toenail. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these crazy excuses about like, oh, y'all just think y'all bougie because this, that, and the next thing. And I was like, no, dude, but I have used every camera from something as tiny as this all the way up to a red.
To the cyber shot. The cyber shots.
Cyber shot. Me and June sold more cyber shots than anybody in the United States of America. Like,
wow.
Our store was famous for selling them cyber shots. Yo, we slang them joints by the hundreds. We was good.
Cyber shot was my joint, man. I love me a cyber shot.
Who you telling? You're not lying. But I just weird that like people think like when we're teasing you the way they used to tease Curry about his crossover. Come on, yellow man, you can't cross nobody over.
Right.
And so he kept going home and practices. Now Steve come down and dribble twice and people fall down. They be like, well, where he going?
Right.
Everybody started somewhere. Like, who is this little half black kid hitting golf balls? He ain't go about to nothing. He ain't about to mouth of nothing. What the heck? Tiger, is that a joke for half Thai, half girl? You get it? Nah. And he was just like, all right, keep talking. keep talking. And then one day he was like, yo, you see my green jacket? This is a sick fit.
Wow.
We always there, fam. Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying my hardest not to focus on any of the negativity, because if y'all stay in trust, and Providence is there, bro. Providence is all the way there.
Well, here's what I like, man. And Lim, this what I love about Doc. He's a believer, and I'm not going super spiritual on you, but you in this season,
Lim just rose up, so you know he's finna get it.
Oh yeah, you see Lim rose up. But I'm laughing because I think, and Bishop is on here too. Shout out to Bishop Oliver. Listen, Carmen blessed me in the clubhouse as well. But listen, there's a lot of pastors and spiritual folk in the crew that all of us, I think, without saying it, we agree that there's a spiritual move in this that's not like so worldly. It's real love in there. Like anytime you got all of us that just met each other kind of like in this virtual space that can't wait to be with one another, you have no clue on how much I preach to church folk that can't get along. I'm not saying my church, but church people that can't get along with one another because of their differences and this, that, and the third. But yet everybody want to go to heaven and be together in one place, right? When you can see something like that happening in a world that's not about, hey, okay, we about to have church, and you get people like myself, Len, Bishop Oliver, Carmen, different ones in the room, and we see your leadership, it actually helps teach other people some things that they're missing, where you don't look for the obvious in the obvious places. So that's why we tease you. Like, I'm serious when I tease you about that sense of unity that you pull together. And so the other day I saw leadership, like crazy leadership, where to whom much is given, much is required. I said this today. When God makes you a certain person, when you understand who God made you to be, there's a lot that he put in you. In that, you have to keep pouring out, and you want to die on empty. And so dying on empty don't mean that in this season right now, you just sitting on full and you're not giving. So when I look at you, I look at the Let's Get Live crew and the eCam community. Shout outs to Ken and Glenn and Katie and everybody. Everybody's been in this giving, as Lynn been saying, this giving season, this giving, because you don't want to die on empty. And so that thought of it is when you say to David about y'all want to touch lives, that's an old school church saying, if I can help somebody as I travel, then my living will not be in vain. Simple stuff. It's really all coming together in a trying time, but the bright side of it is a lot of stuff is coming together that would have never happened, and I still can't explain it. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
You know,
I don't know why my internet is back today.
Huh? You know, what people have to see is that we're representing the family.
Come on,
you know what Doc is really doing. What Doc has done is organizing something so that all of us can rise up. There's got to be an organizer, because when a group of people is really strong and powerful and gifted,
that's good.
It can't do much unless it's organized. Mm-hmm. You know, as gifted as a group may be, or as talented as people may be, or as skilled as people may be, we can't really do much unless there's somebody that organizes and put things in their place. And so what Doc has done is really just, you know, obviously grateful and fantastically amazed that I'm part of the core that's putting it together. But reality wise, we are repping the family. Mm-hmm. And so we're just organizing for everybody else. And as I was telling the team earlier today, you know, in our call, kind of like our hangout, that LGL, the company, the corporation will grow arms once it's established.
Wow. That's good.
And every arm and every branch is going to reach out, and we're going to be connecting our people to the network of people, because 5 people cannot reach a billion people.
Not at all.
It's impossible. But 5 people can begin the work of reaching a billion people.
Will Chamberlain tried it, but
yeah, and so
Absolutely.
And
You gotta be mad old to know that.
And so people have to, and people, we just have to, the family have to trust that the giving economy that we believe in, the giving that Doc has begun and has started, is still the same thing. It's just now organized. And sometimes people get afraid of organizations. They think, from an organization, we're gonna, I don't know, somebody's gonna get abused or something like that. But no, there's organization allows for the people, the key people, the right people, the driven people, the smart people, the gifted, talented people, to be connected properly. And so when you're organized, then you can do really strong thing. I mean, pick up ball is fun.
Right.
But if you're going to do something that is going to take you from your local yard all the way to the top of the state, you can't just play pickup ball. Right. You got to choose the players, to rep the whole entire city.
So let me ask you, how'd you feel about getting picked in? Like, what do you feel is dope?
You know what? I was telling this to Doc.
What you say? He was like, who, me? That's what he said. Jerk. I was like, yeah, you. What you talking about?
I was telling this to Doc that 2019, I think if Doc can remember, it's 2020, early of 2020, I felt God tell me, be a good second. And I'm like, be a good second. I've in the church, I've always tried to be a good number one. And so I have no idea what that meant, but I was like, okay, is God fitting to, that's Doc's word, is God fitting to bring me to another ministry so I could support a leader, and I could second, a pastor, and I could be an associate pastor or something like that. And I didn't know, and so April comes in, a pandemic comes in, social distancing comes in, and we get to jump into this eCam group, not knowing that there was another dude that just got there maybe a few hours, or maybe a day or so earlier than I did. And reality, when I saw Doc on eCam, I was like, wow, this guy's polished. He knows what he's doing. He's fantastic. He gets such an incredible presence on the screen. And when I invited him to come and chop it up with me on one of my shows, I was kind of nervous. Like, this guy's legit, And I didn't know it yet, but he decided to put me in and plug me into his side. So when I showed up as a moderator for his YouTube page, which I was like, man, I had only 56 subscribers at that time. What did I know? I wasn't making any type of YouTube content. I was doing some interviews and things like that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be in here. I'm gonna act like this is my page. I'm gonna go and see what I could gather to support this dude, and do whatever it is I can to make him. Yeah, there you go.
I need to preview so I can set that up.
To make him blow up, or to actually support him and try to make everybody, kind of rally around him. And so, I was doing my best to do that. And I told him, I said, I'm in this season to be a good number two, to be the best number two I can be. And I didn't know exactly what that meant still. And, I started talking about the giving economy because the Lord really used Doc to check my spirit. And you would think how in the world, a self-proclaimed heathen would check a preacher's giving spirit.
Self-proclaimed.
Because, self-proclaimed, but what you proclaim to be, God does something else for you. So, that's another thing. Yeah. But, I just gave, and sometimes you were ahead of the game, and you're seeing people kind of like glow up and do other things, and you just be like, when's my time or whatever. But when you're giving, and this is another thing about the tree, right? I was just thinking about it earlier today.
Here it is.
The tree is not only not afraid of the season, but it's not afraid of the other trees that are growing.
Wow. Yeah, that's how you make a forest.
Yeah, it's not afraid. It's not afraid of the tree next to it.
Right.
It's not afraid of the fruit of the tree, of the fruit that the other tree is growing. It just bears its own fruit. It understands its place in the ecosystem. It understands its place in the forest. It understands that the shade that it brings. And if the trees come together, there will be shade for everybody. And so, but it's not afraid of any tree that grows up. It's not afraid of any tree that bears the fruit. It bears its own fruit.
Hey, so Lim, you know what I got from this too? So I was working, right? I was working and I was like, so matter of fact, Doc, Lim had me up late. Me and Lim are up. And Lim felt his help coming on and we went ham. Church folk was there. They was just like, let him just go ahead at it. I put Lim on, he preached the whole sermon, right? We went in. So I'm like, I'm up late. I slept late and then I had a bunch of work to do. And then I'm like, wait a minute. The big announcement, whatever it was. And I'm sitting there like, I look up and I was late to the party, but I was right on time. But to watch everybody come through, it felt like, now Doc, this is crazy. And you from DC, so you know, you kind of should be familiar with it. It felt like a church anniversary or like it felt like Bishop, you know what I'm talking about. You know when you had them church fellowships where everybody coming through, yeah, yo, and the cousin from around the way that never come to church shows up, and then everybody that's in church is like, hey, you know, and then, we sowing seed, then we give it an offering.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. The like, super chats were like people running to the altar giving money,
and nobody had to ask for it. Nobody was sitting there like, can you please support us? And ooh, God said sow a seed. Everybody felt it, and the seeds just started being sowing.
Can I share something, Keith?
Go ahead, man.
People need to take notes. People need to take notes of how Doc. I know he. Listen, Doc is he's a brilliant dude. He's a brilliant dude, but
that's it,
I don't think he could plan the way it operated. He understood that there was something big that was going to happen. You know, he understood it. When we had a chat June 2nd, he's like, you know, I just would like to find my place in the space and the stage because I feel like I can give somebody something. So he understood that there was something big coming, whether or not, when it was, how it was. He knew. He felt it.
I didn't think it would be this quick, really. There's always John sneak up in the back. Well, John sneak up on the back, and I'm like a random white dude in my screen.
What's going on?
No, I just happened to look because I'm not using Ecamm. I'm using just the camera, and I looked over here, and I just seen this tall red shirt, Portland, and I was like, "Freaking John, bruh." Oh God, man! Like, I got this knife right here, John. I'm Puerto Rican. Don't remind him.
He like, yo, it can happen there, bro.
Remind him, Doc. Remind him,
brother. Oh, you know what? Are you? Oh, he's right here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you know, with that,
a hard drive power supply.
You just kind of put our head down and just
say it, Carmen. You see that?
Birthing is easy when you got midwives.
Look at that. Look at that. See that? That's it, Carmen. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm looking at the thing. Oh, but you know, in the room.
Look, okay, look. We'll pull Doc off of there and then we add him back. Oh,
no, I'm back.
No, he's back. Okay, no, you was good. I'm sitting there still fishing around with this stuff. Hey, and Doc, so here's what I told Lim the other night when we were on. I felt like, and thank you for supporting me, Doc. Like the thing is, I done told everybody, and I was in a Zoom, and I told a bunch of pastors why I use my microphone in the picture now. Like it's not in the picture now because the way I'm set up now. If I were to put it here, I have it. But on my sermon, so on Sundays, I was just like, I don't know what. I was like, I took the mic out, and this is going to get tired, boring to some people. But it was Doc, when Doc is like, my relationship with Doc was straight up, was like, let me just ask you a question. Wait, let me do the
Why Doc. You got a clown?
Let me do the Doc. Like, he goes, let me ask you a question. If you you a studio guy, you know. And so when you look at radio broadcast, I gotta do the Doc close up. Listen, when you're on the radio, do you know anybody? Where's the microphone? It's right there. It's in the picture, right? And then you also got to understand when people are on the news, what do you see? They have a microphone, and the microphone's here. time out. Everybody put the mic in the air. Miss me with that garbage, the NTG, and way in the air, and all of that. Stop it. Stop it. Listen, I've been doing this. I go back to, as my man Keith would say, I go back to the Sony mics when the Sony mics was like $20,000. I got one in my back pocket over there. Also, I got the mic that Walter Cronkite was using way back on the news. I got the one Larry King was using. I got all of the mics. But the mic does absolutely nothing. Listen, I'm friends with Oprah Winfrey. I'm friends with all the actors and actresses you know. And anytime I've been on a movie set, they put the mic on the boom for a reason. So, if you're not doing a movie, you don't need to put the mic in the air. Go live and put the mic right here in your face. That's it. Doc told you. I try to say it. Let's get live. That's it. Back to you, Lem.
That's fantastic.
Dirty. It's so dirty. I'm gonna need that clip so I can play that in my stream. I'm gonna just clip that out and put it in a Dropbox. I can grab it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I love you, Doc. Man, I'm gonna get my Doc joint together real good though. I gotta work on it. It need a lot of tweaking, but I gotta get that raspiness. I gotta tweak the bass and the EQ. I'm gonna get it right though. I promise you. Yeah, hold on.
It was kind of on point though.
Listen, you know it's love when I come out the basement. If Tina hears anything downstairs, she like, "How's my boy Doc doing?" I'm like, "What the heck about me?" Like, you know what I'm saying? She don't ask about Lim. She don't ask about nobody. She just like, "How's Doc doing?"
We from around the way, dude. I'm telling
Doc
you.
is
We
the
was probably
beast.
I told her you said
probably
mumbo
at
sauce.
the go-go.
I told her
I'm
you
telling
said
you, we was
mumbo
probably at
sauce.
the go-go at the same time, boo. I was like, I know at some point in my go-go days, I was on one side of the go-go, and then T was on the other side. Like,
Bro, they gonna laugh and be like, "You was there that day. That was us." I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I mean, people would be dancing, have a good time, then the gun would hit the floor and go off, and everybody would stop, and they'd be like, "I just dropped it," and they'd pick it up, put it back in the pocket, and we'd be like, "Yeah, back on, party going again." Bro, that was DC. That was DC in the 80s, boy. That's how it was. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I want to share this
in
though.
the 80s.
Huh?
Yo,
I want to share
I'll
this.
just-
How was it? Because I was surprised myself, but how was it for y'all when Doc said, "Lem, drop Grace for a minute"?
No, you talking about
I was
when you had to pray?
Yeah, I was
Dude,
like, "Yo."
I wanted to
That's
holler
what's
and
up.
cry at the same time.
I was
Listen,
like, "Yo, that's
I
so
wanted
good."
to holler and cry at the same time because I was like, "Oh Lord!" I said, "Lem about to get it, man." It was just on point. Look, the team.
you know why I did that, Keith?
Go ahead.
First of all, it just came to me at the moment. It just
It was
totally
good,
came
Doc.
to me
That's
at
the
the
best
moment.
part. That's the best part right there.
But from the time, like when I used to do concerts, and and I have to like go in and keep the crowd active because Casey and JoJo can't show up on time, like
That's
3
about
hours
right.
late player,
That's about
like
right.
really 3 hours late. Camlo finished, they already backstage high, they can't come back. And then my boss is like, "Hey, I need you to keep these people entertained for like an hour." I'm like, "What? 10,000 angry folks. You want me, So anyway, when you're out there and you're doing your thing, you got to know your crowd, right? You got to know where you are. And I have enough love and respect for my community to realize that the majority of y'all walk in faith.
That's right.
And I would be wrong not to allow my brother to represent that large portion of our community. Our community is probably like 70%.
Right.
You know, us regular folks, it's only a little bit of us. Me, Brent, maybe Kim. Like, I think that's 3 of us. Okay, that's all I can remember right now. Oh, my brother June. That's it. I think it. Out of 400, there's the 4 of us. So why would I not let Lim shine?
Right.
That's my dog, man. He need to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he will
Brilliant work.
represent the crowd. And I know that, the Carmens and the Bishop and Pastor Felicia and the people in the crew, I knew that they would appreciate it. And it was for no other reason than I know what y'all going to say, but something said, "Hey, Doc, Let the brother bless this opportunity.
Carmen,
so
listen
good,
to Eddie.
Doc.
Carmen, she said, look, but here, yo, I'm gonna tell you this. This is crazy. Y'all gonna laugh at me real quick, and she might get mad at me, but it's not that deep. I'm gonna just do this real quick. Okay, real quick picture. This guy right here, it's my man. It's my man, right? And him and his wife, okay, Tisa's on here. We met at Jill's house, right? We at Jill Scott's house and we met. But it's like we're like family. And I'm using this for a reason. I'm saying this for a reason, Tis. Because like I love them. Like when COVID first hit, I see their picture and they're out like near Vegas. Okay? But the time that we spent was so valuable, and for me, I take relationships serious. Just talking with Carmen in a clubhouse, I love Carmen. Like, I'm just like, I know I'm friending Carmen because she has to be in my life in some way, shape, or form. And so, Doc, when I met Doc, I'm just like, it's something about this guy.
DJ skills yet? Carmen got DJ skills. Carmen got
Carmen
mad.
Listen, bro.
You don't even know.
But Lem,
She's dangerous.
but here's the thing. And here's the thing that's something. Look, see, Tisa's like, yo, we just said the same thing. It's something about relationships and meeting people where it clicks or it doesn't. Okay, and when it's something really there, you know it. And so I took this no different. I'm this way in every area of life that I'm in. I don't stretch to go across the board to meet people, and I'm not antisocial. And if all my purpose is to help you and keep moving, I keep it moving. However, when it clicks, you know it clicks. Is that a bot or is that really Alicio? Sometimes you don't know. You kind of like, dude said that in like 8 different joints. Look, even Mr. Camera Junkie, like it's people that you end up getting used to that you kind of know it's something more there than just meeting. I already told Lem. Lem is going to be in the pulpit at my church somewhere in the future. It's like if I'm
all like shaking in my boots right now.
He ain't shaking. They like, amen. And when Doc come back East Coast, it's a wrap. We are going to drive to DC. If he shows up in DC, listen, if it's still COVID and it ain't safe, I will drive to DC just to personally wave at this dude. Like, I'll do that.
Man, it's crazy. I was almost coming home, because I had death in the family like a few weeks ago.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
My sister was like, "Nah, fam, like you ain't ready for that. You come on." And plus, DC was rampant at the time. The Capital Madness was going on, and it's like, no, you can't come home. You gotta stay there. And I was like, yo, but what about, wings with mumbo sauce? And she's like, fool, I send you a picture. You stay your butt over there in the loo and, eat pig in the ground, but don't come this way. And it was hard, man. Like that day was rough for me. And you know what the honest truth was? Is like, I was talking to Karen and I was like, yo, I got to go down to the office and then pop on the live. And then she's like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, I don't really know, but let me just try. And so I went, I jumped on, and y'all healed it, man. Like it was kind of a rough one, but like I talked to y'all made me feel better. And then that was the day that David and I had this like little 5-hour conversation, but like I needed it at the time because I was processing with a pretty heavy death in my family. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And it weighed a lot on my soul. And come to find out, Brother David basically went through the same mess I went through.
Wow.
Bruh, like, I don't know, man. Our crew is crazy. I got to go cook dinner for the wife. For y'all get me killed, I ain't like Lim. Mine got a black belt.
Yeah, you get jacked up.
Rocky. She was like, what the hell? I mean, they recorded dead somewhere. And she just got finished practicing, so she already stretched up and ready. Yo, she will bust me in the face. I ain't stupid. She 4'11" black belt Okinawa. They invented karate. Everybody, see, y'all Americans are uncouth. Y'all think that Japanese people invented karate? No. then Okinawans did it. And why? Because the Japanese was invading the island and trying to take it over.
Oh no,
and they wasn't to have that. And then so what they did, you had the Chinese coming from one direction and Japanese coming from the other direction. So the farmers farm tools. They took the farm tools and said, we finna learn how to fight with these, which is why in karate, you know, the thing that looks like a fork?
Yes.
That's how you make the ground. You know the one you rake the ground and put the seed in?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Ooh.
Japanese version.
Ooh.
Right? When you see the little stick with the hand, it's called a tanfa.
Yeah.
That was used to beat the rice off of the top of the thing to get the seeds off. Now it became a weapon. Nunchucks took a shovel hand to bust this string, boom, just knock it out. Right? The bow. You see everybody with the bow, how Bruce be getting with the bow?
Yeah.
That used to be a bucket on either side of water to bring to the farm. So that's why karate is the truth, dude. There was empty hand. We didn't have no weapons. Empty hand. Karate, empty hand. We don't got no weapons, but we'll take this farm stuff and beat that ass.
You know what? Hold up. Hey, Len, you know what Doc needs? Doc needs a interview. Like, he needs to sit down and maybe Lem needs to film it. Somebody has to interview Doc. Like, because his life story, you can't explain Doc to people. You get, when him and Tina met, like, so it's the Doc that I know, and then he said DC, and I was like, oh, my wife from DC. He was like, oh, yeah, she might know some people I know. So I gets Tina down here, and they're talking to each other, and them two just went way in on a whole bunch of DCs. They're like, oh, yeah, you remember telling them? They talk mumbo sauce and all this and that. And I'm kind of thrown off because I'm like, wait a minute. So where does Japan get into this thing?
I went to college in Japan.
So then it's like, but then where does the Spanish part come in? Then the next thing is, when do you land in Hawaii? Like, I'm like, dog, like, when did you do Sony? When did you do Apple? And there's all evidence that he's done it all, the languages and everything. And I'm like, bro, you ain't 60. So what the heck? Like, what's the timeline here?
First of all, I mean, you guys see me now. Like, I barely sleep, right? I've always been this way. So while everybody else was sleeping or clowning in these streets, I was in the streets, but I was having fun. But I was always trying to learn something.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Mobile. Okay.
I've been in the DJ booth when it's not my set. What does everybody else do? They have to drink it. I'll probably be in the booth reading something, waiting for my set. You know, like I can't go to bed without feeling like I learned something new. That's just not how I roll. I can't sleep like that because I knew from a long time ago I was never going to be all the way accepted. So I had to be better at things, or try to be better, or try to come, you know, with a little bit more.
Right, Alicio.
I had to come with intention. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, some folks be out here wasting their time. I just didn't do it.
Doc is new school Yoda.
It's
true. Ain't never lied. Yes, Eva. He is new school Yoda. This guy, man, yeah. You got the official Yoda, man.
Hey, well, I'm just saying, like, while everybody else was out and playing around and doing something, I was always trying to figure out how to be better. No matter what. And this thing is the most important part of that, and some people get it twisted. I might try to be better, but I definitely don't think I'm better. That's a different conversation, right? Okay. I am just the same as anybody else, and anybody else, if they really want to, they can learn how to do it, or they can just keep clowning. So but while you clowning, 5 years from now, when I be with Elon Musk, like sipping something, going, Elon, I got to buy a Tesla, man. You're done. They're going to be like, oh, I remember we was teasing that dude because he knew all of this stuff. Like, at the end of the day, why would you tease me about being smart?
Dude, you know what?
You're not born smart. There's no such animal. That's bullshit. You're not born smart. You have to put in the work to be smart. Everyone, unless you were born with a deformity, let's not get it twisted. I'm not that dumb. Unless you're born with a deformity, everyone has the same opportunity to educate themselves on everything. I will pick up a book on ancient Madagascar basket weaving. I'm not trying to become a basket weaver, but NBC said, the more you know. So if it's up to me, I'm going to read that because one day I'm going to be in a deal,
right,
where I need to conversate with somebody about something. And they're going to be like, oh, my wife, she made that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the ancient Madagascar basket. That's from around the sort of Joseon period. That was about 737 AD. He was like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I don't know, studied Mesopotamian baskets. They're like, damn, this guy is cool. Boom, done. He black, gone. Why? Because I can speak on their level. So the things that I've gotten in my life, all of us have had to overcome being not that. All three of us.
Right.
So at some point in time, the stuff that we knew was able to make people not see this and know it's not fair and know it shouldn't be that way. But in my conversation, he ain't black enough. Oh, right. Yeah? Watch this. And the other conversation, oh, he's not yellow enough. Oh, yeah? Watch this. And the other conversations, oh, he too black. Oh, yeah? Watch this. Ask me any question about so-and-so and so from this time to this time. How the heck do you know all of that? Because you have to be. When you are an outsider, the best thing you can do is become a very good chameleon.
Right.
When you move to an island, from another island, you move from an island that's 90-something% black, and you move to an island that is 90-something% Asian. What do? Learn how to speak a freaking angry language.
Right.
2 or 3.
I became all things to all men that I might communicate well what's in me. Paraphrase.
So by all means, everybody have your fun. And I'm not hurt at all. Trust me. Everybody have your fun. Everybody make your little jokes. If that makes you feel better, cool. But trust me, I will go to Jeopardy right now and handle my business.
Right.
Because my grandma told me, son, you're going to have to know things different than what the rest of these folks know. Right. And I was like, why, grandma? And because my grandma was a nurse for a rich Jewish family. And she took a kin to me because I always wanted to read the old man's books, even though I couldn't read. I hold them upside down and sideways, and I would pretend like him. And then so the old man was like, oh, that boy like books. Let me get a set of encyclopedias. And my grandma was like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, no, something about him. So I got lucky. My sisters was like, they never gave us that. And I'm like, I didn't even know. But I had encyclopedias from the time I was like 3 years old. My grandmother used to call me Encyclopedia Brown. And when I was a little kid, and to this very freaking day, my favorite question, why? I'm that dude that gotta know.
Right.
I'm sorry. So if that mess is funny to y'all, cool.
And so the thing is to unpack that, because again, sometimes we wrestle with our why. There's a point in time when we start to sit there, and you and I, we kind of had this conversation. It was some of us, we were talking, and it was one of those, like, understanding your why, knowing our roadblocks that's hindering us. And sometimes it takes, me and Lynn, we went at it with Acts 27. Sometimes it takes a crisis to discover who you really are. And everything that you are, there's a point at which it comes out. One of my favorite places is, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. To form into a womb takes a you and packs you into your mother's womb. So all that you are, all that you're becoming is coming out of you. Combustion come out because pressures of life starts to get it out of you. And we really won't know. So a lot of people, again, they'll die on full because they never empty themselves out. As you empty out, you get poured more into because you are able to hold a certain level of capacity to be able to help somebody. And we are all different vessels, but that vessel, there's the treasure inside. So the treasure that's unpacking in a guy like this, some of us are too ignorant to see it because we think it has to come in the clergy collar. We think it has to come in. No, we all know who we are, and we're being a help to him in an environment that many of us, we're called to be behind our pulpits. So if I'm behind my pulpit, you guys don't know how
much you help me. I swear to you, guys have no idea how much you help me.
But look at the people that you tight with. You got Bishop Oliver sitting here, right? You got Carmen sitting here. You got Dr. Eva in here. You got me. You got Lim. You got other. You got Noble. Okay. You even got the Buddhists with you. I mean, you got spiritual people gathered around you, and the cool thing is you never claim a certain level of spirituality. You don't deny it. But at the end of the day, I
want to be Rosetta Stone because I don't want people to block me for that. Like, I know what I'm good with. I don't have to share it with nobody. I'm not an evangelist. That's not my job.
Right.
Right.
But,
I know
but
where
listen,
I'm at.
you
Trust
are.
you me, I was raised Baptist, way
Right.
across. I was also raised Catholic. I went to a Jewish school. I went to live in a Buddhist country.
Right.
Like, I'd rather know all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have read the Quran,
Right.
right? I was in the Middle East. I'd rather know all of it and just be able to appreciate you for what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever, man. Like, if what Ms. D say, whatever floats your boat and helps you find a remote, I'm cool with that.
And
It's
and
not
look,
my job to try to drag you somewhere you don't fit and want to be.
and so
Right? As long as you don't disrespect nobody, we tight.
and here's what I rapped to somebody about the simplicity of beliefs. There's still that one thing that a person is going to look for, and that's love. I mean, what do we say about love? Like music transfers throughout different cultures. You know, a smile means something, a hello, a hi. There's certain things that they transcend and they move beyond just one culture of people. You take like a Michael Jackson, how he touched the world, and certain artists, the Beatles, and all these different people. When you look at all of that stuff, there's a love that people just want to feel, and there's a place where we all can grow from there. And that right now, you're on the edge of it. And so the team that you form, the move that you're making, the great news is, and I'm trying to share this with people. I told a woman I was working with recently, I said, I love what you do, and I've been watching you do it. She said, I've been watching you do the same thing. And I said, here's my philosophy on it. I like to be around people, and if you don't like me, trust me, I'm going to look at you as iron, and I'm going to make sure I rub up against you, because my thought on Proverbs, iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
Whether you want to help me or not, even right now, the way we brush up against people is what we're doing here. You get to learn from, you get to hear from people. It's recorded. If you miss it, you can go back and listen to it again. And then you can grow from there. And so there are genuine people that desire to help. They desire to go to the next level. And brother, you speak in the word of faith. And that's what I've been on. And what I like is we're surrounded by people. This is what we found in this COVID-19. We are able to find people that think like you think, in a sense, and they're still unique, but you look at them and you say, hey, in this circle, people not understanding what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy. And then you get into this digital virtual community and the doors just open up. The space opens up and you kind of like, yo, I just met this dude, but he's as crazy as I am in this area. She's as crazy as I am in that area. They have a message to speak. And so what you're doing with Let's Get Live is helping people with their voice, helping people with that next level they're trying to get to. And at the end of the day, you're focused on where you're going. A lot of times people jump in on, okay, I'm going to just help. And like Lim says, you can't be afraid to give. But then there's some people, they just sitting there just giving, and they're messing up their potential to go to the next place to be able to have more to give, because they get stagnant. And if you get stagnant, that's where you messed up. When I met you, you were going somewhere. And then God allowed all of us to be in the same place, same time. Iron sharpens iron. And then you get your pick and you go into the next level.
Well, you gotta.
Look, I gotta jet real quick because I'm gonna get killed.
Go ahead. You close out, Reverend.
I just want to say that I was always taught that just because the message may not be received doesn't mean it's not worth sending. So nice. I'm gonna send the message. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, God bless you, Buddha bless you, Satan bless you, whoever you into, whatever. I'm gonna keep it moving, but I have to keep trying to send the message, and the message is learn it, right? Like grok it, like fully understand it, and then turn right back around and teach it to somebody else, because you don't have room to learn anything else if you're learning. And there's an old Korean proverb about sticking the hand in the hole to try to grab the rabbit, and he tried to grab all the rabbits and he can't pull his hand out because dude got all the rabbits in his hand and the hole ain't but so big. Americans call it the cookie jar. Every nationality has that same thing. So I didn't try to grab anything. While everybody's trying to grab something, I'm like, let me get a shovel and make the hole bigger so that everybody can get a rabbit.
Nice.
And I mean that from the,
no, you hit it.
we have a saying in my streets, F what you heard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to build a street because building a street is better than everybody cutting their feet on jacked up rocks on the road. So I'm going to build an entire road, and then everybody can come. Like I said,
I love
only
it.
so much folks can fit on the ladder before the ladder break. So screw that. We fit in the build steps.
I love it. I love it.
We only a handful of us can build them steps because it's just a dangerous project. But if everybody trusts the move, and I believe Providence is there, that it's going to happen, and you either in or you in the way. Like, homie, don't play. I'm sorry, I'm not, man. Hey,
she said, wait, Doc, before you go,
it's hard to coddle feelings because I love everyone,
right?
But sometimes when you love something, you got to let it free.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You don't even know what you're saying right now. You don't even know what you're saying. I can't say what you're saying, but I know but you're saying something.
If you're not loving yourself enough to let the others love you, that's a different story. And at the time, I didn't get that.
Right.
I was like, yo, man, I can't do it this way. Everybody was like, no, you should do this thing, and you should hurry up and do this so you can make a lot if you sold this or did that. And I was like, nah, man, it's not like that. You're in the Jedi community. Like Markeith was like, you dumb. And I was like, bro, I love you, but that's not me. I have got to find a way to give this away and make it work for me.
Bro.
And they were like, no, dog, you got to do this, you got to do this, and you should sell that. You should. I'm like, it's not my move yet. I still got to keep giving it away, and somehow it will come back. And nothing against what he said, because he is correct in his line of work.
Yes,
but bro,
I was when you think bigger, it goes into what Lim is saying about the moochers. The fear of moochers, sometimes it'll push you into monetizing when you get scared of the moochers. If you stay focused on the mission that you know that you were given, right? Then everything that people who are afraid of moochers, those people end up spending so much time monetizing that you miss the bigger mission. Now, some people, your job is just to go ahead and monetize every little thing, count every nickel and dime, and do it for the money, and then say it's not for the money. I'm beyond that. Like, Doc, and we had this conversation. I didn't make music.
You left the music industry at the top of your game,
bro.
Listen, after me,
I had a calling. Listen, the Grammy came. So shout out Tisa and Pete Evans. Just both of y'all. Just say hello to.
I gotta jump. I'm gonna listen to you on the way up.
Yeah, say what's Doc. Say hi to Tisa first.
Aloha, Tisa.
There we go. And Pete.
Another half.
Yeah.
And Pete.
All right, there we go. Good.
I love you guys.
Because they're closer to you than I am. They're closer to you than I am. All right, so look, Lem, the craziness, Doc, you going to kill her, I got to turn you off. I got to hit you? All right, I'm going to hit you. All right, got it. So, Lem, the crazy thing that happened is when you started talking about the moochers, it got me because Doc and I, we experienced, people were coming at me from all sides like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. And you know what I saw? I saw it's literally like God showed me a couple of $1,000 profit, right? And then it was like, then there's a number that's not even about the number, but it's about how you're blessing other people, and I'll take care of you. That's what I got. So I end up getting to a place where I'm just like, as many times as I try to organize things to hurry up and try to monetize, I kept getting led back to the scripture that says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. That whole thought of that right there is with thanksgiving, make requests made known. That means that there has to be a thank you before the asking. Because if it's with thanksgiving, let your request be made known. That means that you're thankful in your asking. When you're thankful and you're asking, you're thanking because you have been given to. And if you have given to, just as you have received, you give. And in that, I learned even in Rabbi Lapin in his book called The Business Secrets of the Bible from a Jewish perspective, their belief is about the giving is where the receiving ends up coming in. And so if you focus on the giving, I'm just giving up what you gave about the giving. If you get into the giving, it's a here's my word, watch this here. It's a consequence that currency comes your way in the giving.
Yes.
It's a consequence. Now, with that consequence, you can choose to. Okay, so Doc, the when you look at the covers that we got on here, right? The covers, the Stream Deck covers. I was just doing that, and I'm like, all right, God, why am I making the Stream Deck cover? I'm not even really a wizman. It's because I was talking about Jesus being a carpenter and a couple of things, right? And I was just like, it's crazy. The mission of Christ never was about being a full-blown carpenter. Like, you don't get Jesus of Nazareth at Home Depot and he built this girl's shed and built homie over there a tractor and somebody else a bed. But we do know that he's the carpenter's son and we get this carpenter thing. But that wasn't his main job. That wasn't what he was to be known for. He's known for the cross, not a carpenter. The wood related to him was about the cross, not him building things. But we do have evidence that we relate him to being a carpenter's son or carpenter. So he did building of some sort. But there's no text and emphasis on Jesus the carpenter, the handyman, and all of that stuff. Oh, Mary, I'm gonna fix your door. Lazarus, I'm gonna put the wheel back on that barrel. We don't get all of that. So what's the focus there? The focus was he came to do a job. And so when we get that not my will but thine be done, that's what Doc is dropping on us about he said, I'm a woodworker, by the way. That's the part where it's the idea of not my will but thine be done. That's the focus that Doc had on, this is not my call and that's not my mission to do it that way. And so the consequence of the giving to me allows people to have the overflow, and that's when you can give and give and give. And like one woman was on a Clubhouse, she was like, oh yeah, I make $10,000, that's my lazy money. We was like, whoa. But what she meant was she was so much into giving in her business that yes, you have to eat to make it work, but she was more so about the model of giving, that the consequence of how she sowed, it came back in overflow, and she's like, here's what I live off of, and that's the lazy money. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, people don't understand the cycle of giving. That's sometimes we spiritualize giving, and there are people that are materializing giving.
Spiritualized, materialized giving. Come on, sir.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, oh, God's going to give it to me. But Jesus said, if we're going to scripture, Jesus said, men shall return it to your bosom. Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, it was not even financial. It was really service, because service is giving. Giving is service. Mm-hmm. So when you're serving people, you're giving unto people. And so we shouldn't be looking at giving as a sense of like money and time and all these things that I have. It's serving others. And when you serve others, people want to serve you. That's the cycle of giving, right?
Yes.
So the cycle of giving is, if you are authentic and continuously consistent with your giving, people will begin to trust you, and trust breeds confidence. Confidence breeds reliance, and reliance builds your marketability, because now people are relying on you for the thing that you've been giving all this time. And because of that, then there is a market for it now, because you have built a reliance on your giving that people want to receive more. And so what happens is you become marketable. And when you become marketable, that's when you level up that's when you learn how to give. And that's another conversation to talk about effective way of giving, because we just don't give into a void. We give with intention. We understand that sometimes your gift has got to become a product, because the way, if once your gift, sometimes gift is just so big, but when you put it in a system, the system kind of makes it into a product. And when you put it into a product, people can consume it in easier bites, and that's the reason why, like right now, let's say, for instance, if you and we're giving right now, but when we decide, you know what, Keith, you and I need to do something about the church, and let's build up the community and really kind of make it succinct. Well, that becomes a product. Why? Because you and I now are systematizing, if that's the word.
Yeah, I got what
our
you
delivery of what we're trying to do, and we're now bringing it into printable content, into repeatable content, and that begins to be a product. It begins to be marketable, and when you begin to have a product, well, people, that's really what happens to that, is that what you're doing is you're giving an avenue for others to give back to you.
Wow.
And really, every giver needs to know how to put avenues of return.
Wow.
You cannot be a proper giver if you don't have an avenue of return. Because then what's going to happen to your giving? You can't level up the giving if you don't have proper avenues of return. Why? Because people want to give to you.
Right.
And you cannot roadblock the giver from giving back to the giver.
Dude,
so you got to have avenues for others to give back to you. And they're giving to you because of this. They understand you're a giver. And we're giving to you because we know that when we give to you, you will return what we give to you and bring it back in a larger scale.
Right.
And so people give to the people they trust. And they trust because it's consistent. And it's consistent because it's authentic. And it's authentic because it's from our spirit. We enjoy what we do. We are giving from what we desire and from the things that we love. And again, we've got to learn how to effectively give, because we want to be able to give more. If you're not effective in your giving, you cannot give more. But if you're effective in your giving, somebody may say, oh, you can't just continue giving. They're correct. But the problem is you don't limit your giving, right? You situate your giving. You don't limit your giving, right?
Yeah. No,
you situate your giving. You don't say, I'm going to stop giving because there are people that don't want to hear from me. No. You got to find the soil. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because the farmer, if he's called to farm, doesn't stop because his seed did not grow.
Right.
What does he do? He takes if he understands the seed is good, then it's a matter of time for him to find the soil. Because a good seed will always grow. You just have to find you have to find the good soil, or you have to break up the bad soil and make it receivable for your good seed. So, I think we've got to continue just giving, and here's another one. Don't be afraid, and don't be alarmed by the power moves of others, because when you're shook by the power moves of others, you become powerless.
Right.
Did you hear that? Yep. When you get all shook, oh, somebody's doing a power move, I'm going to be left behind. Well, if you're going to have that kind of feeling, you're going to lose your power, because you're always constantly looking at the people that are passing you instead of looking at your destination that's ahead of you.
Hey, you know what's Slim? So the other day on YouTube, what really blessed me was I was chilling, and I don't want people to go and look at the comments to try to get understand what I'm saying, to be meticulous about it, but I was in such a great place. I was up because we were up late, and I was like, oh man, mess around with Lim, I forgot the launch, right? Or whatever it is. So then when I saw it I'm like, I gotta catch up. So I'm at the beginning while y'all live. And there was some comments that, I'm a pastor, so I'm observatory. So I'm observing, and I'm looking at some shocks. And then I'm looking at some comments, and I'm just kind of like, this is what it's really about, because this is the difference between givers and people that understand the giving and people that don't understand and aren't comfortable. When COVID started turning into that money grab, I know I started pulling away from it, because I'm not nervous about stability. Okay, I'm not nervous about, God opening doors, and I really respect calling and what is my goal here. Why am I here? Sometimes we have to, as Alessio's shirt says, pause, pray, and proceed. That's real. Whether everybody really listened to it or they just got the t-shirt to support, you gotta pause sometimes. The pray is the asking, that's the direction, and then you proceed from after yielding to the Holy Spirit. So when you yield, There's a yield that'll let you know. Don't get caught up what everybody else is doing. And the culmination of this, I'm telling you, the genius part was you didn't even tell me. Doc ain't tell me. Diana and I had conversed with all of y'all. I just sent David something in the mail. You know, I got you on the joint. And it was like one of those, it was so mature and how quiet. But it, to me, this is what I dealt with. It's just this Keith Pelzer. It helped me to understand the why I knew I started withdrawing a little bit. And I had to refocus on what is it that you do, Keith? What did you come to the table doing? You know, yeah, I like my little cameras and sliders and stuff. But remember, and you and I talked about this, I was doing that for seeing the sermons. That's seek ye first the kingdom. You know, I'm going to take the storytelling because, you know, in the sanctuary, I did all that. And early, whoa, yeah, you know. Okay, that's the energy.
I want to see that, by the way.
The Holy Spirit. Listen, go to my YouTube on my church.
I'm going.
It got a couple of me hooping and hollering on there and running around. The leg up preachers like say yes, yeah. You know,
I do weird one. I do my like a pelvic thrust when I'm like,
yeah. I got those right, but it's like I think when I went to Africa and I came back and I really saw a difference. I'm like, okay, I ain't knocking what everybody else do, but I'm like, I'm here, I'm in the basement. I try this coffee conversation thing and I'm like, I gotta be at home and I gotta get these sermons done. And I'm like, okay, how do I present myself? And how do I use these things for God's glory? So I'm doing it, but then on the next part of it, then you get people asking me questions. And then you had a bunch of people saying, oh, you need to charge people and you need this, that, and third. And I was like, that's getting me off of focus. And you know what happened? God never allowed me to organize it. Okay. And now I have to organize it, but it's flowing into place.
I'm about to hit. I was going to hit you up tomorrow. So I got something for us.
Okay. So this is great. I'm going to be open. It's flowing into place. So I put a little Amazon list together for a couple of pastors and I'm like, yo, okay, here's the equipment list, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so what started to happen was, and this is where you just blessed all of us with the avenues. Don't block the avenues, right? Because sometimes you think that the giving is about not receiving at all. And so if you block the receiving, you just blocked up the whole purpose in the giving and stuff. So what I did was one pastor was just like, listen, he pulled me aside. He said, listen, I'm going to cash app you because I appreciate you. I know you didn't put a number out in front, but I want to be a blessing to you. Now, what you choose to do with it, he said, what you choose to do with it is on you. Now, watch how that affected me. So I knew it was somebody that didn't have a camera, and I know they had a need to look better. I found the camera, and I did the research for how can I get a cheaper camera to give you pretty much the same look. And that's when I sold into them. You see what I'm saying? And so I gave. Now, the principle given that I was reading from, you know, Rabbi Lappin's book is crazy, that he only sticks with the Torah, and it's crazy, but he gives some nuggets on business secrets of the Bible. Every time I bought somebody a camera or something, I got double. I got double back. So it started to become an economy system, right, on understanding giving. And the whole time when I kept blocking the receiving, it was kind of like nothing was happening. So when I open up the avenue, as you said, that's quotable. You said it here. When I open up that avenue, the avenue here, Bishop said it right. Don't roadblock the avenues of return. When I started unblocking the avenues of return, I was able to do more for people that I couldn't do before.
Well, let me share with you something earlier on in my ministry, which I really kind of fought against.
Go ahead.
But I wasn't like, you know, obviously tithing and all these things. I tried to make myself poor, even though there was finances to not be able to do that. And I heard God's voice says, you've got to receive so that I can bless others.
Wow.
And I was like, you cannot, the system gets broken if you roadblock the avenue for you to receive.
Wow.
That cycle does not happen. I cannot continue to bless other people if you are not going to receive from what they give you. And I mean, I heard that and I tried, but I just was so confused about the giving and receiving elements of it, the connection between giving and receiving. I was so just confused that even though I heard God say that in my early 20s, I did not apply it. But I realize now that the giver must give people avenues to give back.
Come on, Mr.
So whether it's buy me a cup, buy me a coffee, whether it's a book, whether it's a CD, whether it's just Cash App, whatever it is, you've got to give people an avenue to give back to you, because the giver is ignited by givers.
Right.
I am ignited to give because you give.
Right.
And if you don't give me a chance, if you don't give me a way to give back to you, you now restrict the flow.
Right.
Of the river that I am to be a part of you. I cannot be a part of you if you won't allow me to give into you.
Right.
I cannot be a part of the river that flows from you unless you give me a conduit to tap into that river.
Right.
My mountain of resource cannot be part of the river of your flow unless you allow a tributary from me to enter into your stream.
Right.
And so I must, because what happens is this: when I give to you, then it's no longer you just giving; it's us that's giving.
Hey, you know what? So I was just triggered by how I got to know a lot more people in eCam. God blessed me to figure out certain things, and I had totally backed out of music. Like Doc kind of knows my story. I backed out of music in a sense, and I was just in a funk. So I found my groove in this, and then we're forced into this through COVID. I get on it, and then I had a couple people ask me like, "Yo, I like your show," and this, that, and the third. So the giving part was, okay, after my sermon, I'm gonna go live and say here. What I had to tell some people, nameless, I had to say, be careful of, like, be proud of what you have, be happy to show it, but don't show off, right?
Didn't Doc just say that? There's a difference between
so I knew, and here again, back to your word, I wasn't afraid of the moochers. The moochers were just, hey, I'm just gonna ask you what kind of camera is that, and they going in the wind. Okay. Right. You know what I learned? The people that kind of stick in connection with you, right? They're not moochers. They're about a level of ministry, because they are one of those, I'm asking, and the blessing that how you gave, I am a giver. It's kind of like when you give, you know you're giving to a giver, or we're drawn spiritually to give to a giver. Or if somebody's not a giver, you believe that in your giving, you're going to ignite the giver in them. And so, like Mr. Junkie said, if you block the avenue to return, you block someone else's blessing. Now, when I'm on the show with my girl India, and we're talking about the stream decks, right? She had her stream deck was fine, the 15, and she's like, yeah. So we talking about the XL. And I didn't think hard on it. I didn't ask, is your finances cool? Is this, that, the third? Not knowing what she's about to go through. She didn't need me to buy it. I was just like, I'm a give. Now, the thing is, the blessing in the giving, it wasn't about sizing her up to say she got to be poor to get an XL. It was about purpose. It wasn't about poor. It was about purpose. And so in purpose, good. I not knowing the whole thing, I'm like, check this out. We on her show. Listen. I'm going to get you the XL. So you got to get somebody today, and you're going to bless them with your stream deck. Somebody across somewhere else, and she had to say, and she said he was so happy to receive that. Now, when he understands how that came about, he's probably going to end up giving to somebody else. So the cycle that goes around is that when you give cheerfully as you purpose in your heart. And so God gives seed to the sower. So I look for, hey, throw me the bag of seeds, because I'm going to sow it. You see what I'm saying?
This is the key thing, right?
Prime the well.
I don't need to be the reservoir. I'll just be the conduit.
Yes, good stuff.
Because the reservoir collects the water.
Right.
But the conduit gets wet in the process of bringing it to the reservoir.
Nice.
And if in the reservoir, I don't have to be the reservoir. And so if God is going to do something in this world that requires money, I know if it comes through me, I'll get wet also.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me just be a conduit. It doesn't have to end on me. I don't have to be the reservoir. I could be the bypass of it, you know, because if it comes through my hand, the way the Lord has it done, it will wet. But one of the things that I think is interesting is because, you know, LGL, the company, the corporation, is going to be providing education for live streamers. He's going to be providing registry for all live streaming pros to be there so that they can put what kind of proficiencies they have, and so that the companies can come in there and see all these people that do live stream, and maybe they need it for their pro producing, they need it for they need them, you know, I don't know, they need some videos done. So we're going to make a registry. Also, we're going to template, we're going to create WordPress templated sites for people that Ecamm is actually going to be embedded in those websites.
Nice.
You know, so people like me, I could put lemdrops.live, and it will be from Let's Get .live, and there's going to be template in there. So it's product based. It's obviously going to be for sale. It's going to be for an exchange of giving, and that's what I'm talking right now. I'm using exchange of giving.
Exchange. Listen, that's
for sale. You know,
exchange.
Exchange of giving, right? Because sacrifice goes both ways. So I'm going to sacrifice my time. You sacrifice your resource. Whatever it is, sacrifice goes ways because serving goes both ways. You know, and Jesus said to his disciples, "Look, the same way I wash your feet, you wash other people's feet too." So Jesus is all about the circle of the cycle. It's like, I'm going to do this. You best go do this. If you're going to be one of my kids, if you're going to be one of my people, you better understand that this is something that I want you to do for others.
Right.
But the idea about it is that, we're doing all these products and all these things to enhance and to increase people's proficiencies and competencies in different levels and wherever they may be, and we're gonna turn the internet on its head. We got, you know, Doc, and everybody has some connections that are far and wide. I mean, I don't know if I should tell you guys what is happening in the background. All these different companies they're connecting, you know, because they're excited about Doc. They believe in his ability and they believe in the team that he's chosen, and obviously we understand also the company that's actually behind pushing this along. So, but here we are, we're going to be a product company, but yet we are all talking about giving. How come we're not talking about the products? How come we're not talking about what the company's going to do? How come we're not talking about all these resources and the packs that are going to be sold and the membership that's going to be sold, or the websites that are going to be made? How come we're talking about giving? Because we understand that the company is built to empower others. To what? Because we want you to become proficient in the thing you want to give to others. And we believe that if you would give, it will open doors for you to receive. And if you understand the effective giving and the cycle of giving, then every gift will return back to you. As the good Lord said, pressed down.
That's good, Tisa.
Shaken together.
The product
running over.
The product is giving.
The product is giving.
That's
the product
crazy.
is giving. We are there to empower the people. So we are not driven by the product. We are driven by the person that will use it.
Right.
That's who we're driven. We're not excited about the product. We're going to do it, but we're excited about it, and we're going to make the product really well because we don't want you to celebrate the product. We want you to celebrate the person. And we are building people. We are the people. We're going to be in the people business because that's always been what the group is about. It's always about people. And we're just making products so that people will, their capacity to give to others will be enhanced. It's a powerful and beautiful thing, bro.
Look at how a lot of this came together and the shaping of this. Pastor David Evans from a church over here in New Jersey.
Yes,
he has a very large church over in Jersey. His name Pastor David Evans, and I thought about it, and he said, "Listen, me neither, Bishop. I'm messing around with Lem. See, we let Doc still got time, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get a benediction. I'm going to bed. But look, Lem, Pastor
we got
David
7
Evans,
minutes till 3. So we're good.
So but we're gonna get off before 3. Pastor David Evans said." I heard him preach the sermon, and he called it frustration that leads to passion. And so it was like, he's kind of a deep guy. I had to sit, listen to him. I was like, all right. So it's that at the time you can't rewind it. So I had to watch the rebroadcast to catch exactly what this dude was talking about. And of course he preempted that with Jesus, not my will, but thy will be done, something like that. But he talked about in that frustrating moment, that where we talk about the passion of Christ, he tied that in the frustration, which leads to passion. Now, he did in the sermon, but then I also saw him on a talk show. So he's kind of got like we don't want you to preach on here, but you just talk it out in a conversation because everybody's watching. Secular people are watching, so don't sneak a preach there, but sneak it. So he did the piece again. I was like, oh, he's about to do it again. And he massaged it a little bit, but it really helped in a practical sense about when you frustrated enough, it'll push you into your passion. Yeah. And so that passion of wanting to help people, like what Doc was saying, the organizing it, because if not, everybody's sitting around talking about it all day. And then the grabbers, if you will, not the askers, but just the grabbers, they'll flood in. I mean, think about Ecamm. It is what it is. People get Ecamm, and it's funny. We see the recycling of when we first started, and
That's
people
right.
come
That's
in
right.
and they ask the same questions over and over again. And faith cometh by hearing. That's the problem with most people. They run into church and they just want everything and they never read. Like if you read, or as soon as something happened, they didn't read, as I said, the side effects of faith. The side effects of faith is we are troubled on every side, but we got conjunctions in there. So for every problem, there's a conjunction. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? That function over there is but not in distress, yet not despair, not forsaken, cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in our bodies the Lord Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That the dying, the crucifying, the resurrection will come to life in us, but that's through with much tribulation shall ye enter. So there's going to be hardships, ups and downs, but there's another side of all of that. And so when people jump into the Ecamm, I'm like, here we go again. Ecamm's not the place to fix the problem that somebody else can fix. So that's why when you guys said there are many arms that come out of this, I started to look at, yes, it's the people. In Philly, we used to have a saying, crab basket mentality. Everybody's always pulling the person down rather than saying, okay, get out of there and figure out how to get us all out, rather than pulling the person down with the idea and pulling them, and the person going up either gets too sensitive and say, well, I don't want to act like I'm leaving nobody, whatever. I'm like this. Listen, if you tell me, yo, I got a way to get us out of this, I'm going to be like, all right, either I trust you or I don't. If I don't trust you, I'm going to let you go. If I do trust you, I'm going to let you go. You see what I'm saying? What good is it going to do for you to just sit in the basket with me? So if I trust you, I'm like, yo, I'm actually going to put my hand here and boost you up to get over the top and say, all right, I'm going to trust that he come back. Or I'm just going to be like, go ahead, homie. Bye. You know what I'm saying? And then think of another way out. But when there's trust, and when you see the bigger picture, you actually see a brighter thing going on when other people see it's a problem. And then the best teaching is the shocker on where you've been trying to get to. I kept quiet to show you how to get there. And so when you link to your own understanding, which is a systemic problem that most people have, It's amazing when people keep going on that hamster wheel of leaning to their own understanding. After a while, if you've been doing it all this time and it's not working, not that it's just not your time yet, but it's not working and you're depressed because it ain't working. You're depressed. You're not looking at, okay, let me keep trying. Let me keep trying. There's other people that's like, oh, let me give up. And then they try again because it's something somebody else told them. And after a while, the frustration that leads to passion is, I'm sick and tired of people leading people down the wrong path. I'm sick and tired of people telling people the wrong stuff. So that's when you try to step up and you tell people, listen, I've been telling pastors in this pandemic, I'm like, bro, even on a good day, the reopening is not going to just be about the move in the room. Listen, accept the fact. Listen,
it better not be.
Listen what I'm saying. I said, accept the fact that just maybe you are living in a time when the teaching is more necessary than your normal way of preaching. I had to rebuke some people and say, what was the value of pushing through all that work to be in that place? For what benefit did it do? You got put into a world of people to reach loss, and your only focus is on compartmentalizing yourself. Here's the thing. The world have you in quarantine, but you have now actually went ye therefore into the world. And you're trying to actually go back into quarantine to your comfort zone. And I said, comfort will kill us if we don't watch it. I'm like, people in your home that did not want to hear, they got to hear what you hear on Sundays. They got to hear your mouth more than they ever heard it before. And we still running back to normalcy? Why are we so quick? Long suffering, patience, the whole nine. We are in a space where there's a bigger outreach, the giving on all parts. Whether it's, like we said, the product. Thank you, Tisa. The product is the giving from the heart. And it's multicultural. It's worldwide. It's spiritual in nature, because we have yet, we love each other whom we have not even technically seen yet.
Yeah.
Am I right about Liv? Come on, man.
No, you're right, man. That's my wife. My wife is funny because she said, you guys have not yet even seen each other. You have not even held hands. You have not even shook hands with each other. And here we are, like, you know, like we were chatting and you know, Doc said it during the live, you know, after I kind of pontificated about our diversity. And he was just like, look at this, right? So you got a Buddhist, you got you have it. You know,
I remember it.
You have an atheist or an agnostic or what have you. All these people coming together. It's just a symbol of the unification of humanity. And I think what a lot of those of us that are coming, those of us that are in the church coming into these live streams, I think what's happening is we are understanding the humanity of us all. You know, we're kind of we at least for me, I've stopped defining things the way I would normally define it.
Right.
And for instance, I'm coming into the groups and into the communities, into these Facebook groups, right? Just being me, you know, you know, and not turning and not becoming somebody else, and not taking what other people are doing and not applying what I think is going to be cool, but rather just me. You know, you receive me for who I am, and I'm going to be good, you know. And I think that's the freeing part of it all for me, is that we've just become ourselves, the authenticity, because it translates on the screen. People know if you're inauthentic. People know if you're trying to sell something. People know if you're an oil salesman, so to speak, or you are just trying to sell things that you really don't have. You know, you understand. So we've got to go and become just vessels. And I don't know if you got to read the blog I posted today. I am writing blogs every day, right? because our church is doing like a chapter of the Bible every day.
Okay.
And today we're in chapter 3 of the book of Matthew. And chapter 3 of the book of Matthew talks about John the Baptist. Mm-hmm. And John the Baptist says the quintessential statement. Mm-hmm. I must decrease so that he can increase. And what we find here is this, is there is always, and you know, I've been talking about the giving economy. I'm about to shift it from the giving economy, and I'm going to go and lead it into being a good number 2. And what it is that people are always striving to be number 1. You know what I mean? What's it?
Sorry.
I'm trying to wait for the benediction.
One King is in here, but Doc, it says, y'all did all this preaching, so I cook fish.
And Bishop is like, I'm trying to wait for the benediction. Well, you better go and close this out, man, because I don't want to make you a liar, bro. We're going to be there at 5 o'clock.
I'm a benediction. Listen, y'all. Thank y'all for just being here. It was so real. I'm just doing what I'm doing and what I know my calling is, even outside of just church itself. I can only be me. And I was about to start doing, like, you know, product reviews. I'm like, I'm going to do them, but I'm going to do them in the way I just do them. You know what I'm saying? Because you called June 1 again, bro. Oh, June. I said 1. June.
That's the second time. You said that yesterday.
Brother, I am so sorry. I jacked it up again. June. Just like the
all right, June, you know what? I'll help you. Here we go,
right.
Keith.
Go ahead.
Annyeong haseyo.
What'd I do? What'd I miss?
Annyeong haseyo. Hananim chukbuk.
June. Jun. June. All right. You said, how you gonna call him? I'm from the PR. He's Korean. Okay. June. Got it. I'll explain it tomorrow. It's okay. No. I'm not gonna do that, June. I'm gonna say it right, June. My apologies, June. June. So when June comes on the show, we're gonna say June.
What did June say? What did June say? I'm hearing you. Look, you get a room away. That's tight. What this is. Never mind.
June is tight. June said it's okay. I'll take wine, bro. Don't worry about it. No, I'm gonna say it right, June. I'm gonna have June right. And so, look, Jane Riley is saying the Canaanites. He said June. Tisa says, thank you for this. Let me move the convos out the way. Listen, y'all, once again, my brother Lim. I love you, Lim. I think we like
Love you, sir.
We like Don Lemon and what's my man named Cuomo? You know how when they come on, Don Lemon comes on and he's like, hey, love you, brother. Love you too, man. You know, I love their unity and their energy, man. He said, woke up in time to catch some nuggets. I've been seeking answers for it. Listen, we're going to be back on here. We're going to get it right. Bishop, Carmen, I got to get y'all on here because this is just what I do on the convos. I got to go.
Carmen.
Okay? And so I'll leave out with my party song. And my party song is technically It's Love. That's what it is. There it is. They say this.
They say I'm crazy.
There it is.
The way you got me open, baby.
That's how we go home. Matter of grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, rule, rest, and abide with us. Henceforth, now, forevermore. Let everybody say amen.
The way your time sweating.
Get it, man. Woo.
I'm playing. I don't know what I'm playing.
Here we go.
It's not even hooked up. There's no power.
These feelings I cannot hide. It ain't a question of pride. Come on, it's love. Here we go. She says.
What key is this on, Keith?
It's in F sharp. F sharp.
F sharp. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I love the black keys right here.
She say this.
They say I'm ripping.
They say just can't seem to keep my grip. She goes like this, they all cry.
We all cry when we feel pain.
When love is
when
gone.
love is gone, we're not the same.
It ain't a question of
It
brains.
ain't a question of brains.
Say, Jill. She say what?
It's love.
You in or getting in the way?
It's love. It's love. It's love.
Say this. Say what?
Say what? Say what? They all sit and wonder why this feeling I cannot hide. It ain't a question of pride. It's love.
Right there.
Do you want it on your collard greens?
Say what?
Do you want it in your candy sweets? Do you want it? Do you want it in your?
Alright, I gotta get ready to go to bed.
Do you want it on your biscuit, baby? Do you want it on your rice gravy? Do you want it in your black eyed peas?
Let's go.
Come on, give it, give it, give it, give
Three
it
chords,
to
Lynn,
me.
that's all it is.
Say what? Say what? Say what? Sweet.
Love, 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 love. Sweet. Say goodnight, Lynn. Say goodnight, Lynn. That's the remix. I made that myself, this girl. Right there now.